What's up, guys? This is Brandon from USF1. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry for not giving a race preview this week. I figured it was kind of monotonous. I don't know if I'm actually going to be doing them much anymore. Considering I'm not really getting much views on them, and you guys already kind of know the tracks and all that whatnot and the information that I give you. So I might overall I just decided just to skip this one, even though I was really looking forward to, obviously this is my home Grand Prix, so of course I was looking forward to it the entire, like for the last 2 weeks essentially, and it was definitely a race to see. I was really actually hoping for rain. Rain was in the forecast, but it ended up raining before the race instead of during. And then it ended up drying out before the race even started. But before I even start talking about the race, I want to talk about the driver intros, the American style pre-race that we saw today in Austin. And there's obviously a lot of hate going on from the Formula One faithful, especially the Europeans and Brits and all that stuff. Whether you like it or not, like, I personally liked it just because it's something different, and I'm American, so I'm used to seeing that kind of things. Having like Michael Buffer and everything, he's a world famous guy. He's not, I think he gets paid like $3 million every single time he says let's get ready to rumble in his trademarked way. And his driver intros, he did, butcher some of the names. Well, he didn't really butcher them. He mispronounced some of them, but he didn't really butcher them. Some tweaks needed to be made. I wish there was like a flyover, but I'm pretty sure there was an uproar last year from all the massive dairy farms that are around there. And cows don't produce milk when they're spooked. But, yeah, so you have to be like environmentally friendly in some sort of way. But, could use some tweaks. It's definitely, that intro was definitely American, very American style. It's the United States Grand Prix, so it sort of fits. So it's sort of fitting. So overall, if you guys didn't like it, big whoop. It's the United States Grand Prix. COTA, Circuit of the Americas, paid to host it. They can promote it however they want. Is this a U.S. Grand Prix? Is this an American way of doing things? It's their race. They paid money to host it, so let them host it. When you guys pay for it, we can do it your way. Don't want to have a driver intro? That's fine. You pay for it. It's your call to make, not. But you guys bash them for trying something different, having something like, considering that they're trying to make a new market here in the U.S. Even like NASCAR and IndyCar don't do intros like that. So agree to disagree. We'll move on. But congratulations to Lewis Hamilton for the race win at the United States Grand Prix. He did not clinch the title just yet, considering that Vettel came close second. Thanks to Team Morris's Räikkönen was P2 for a while, and then Räikkönen let Vettel through with team orders, but I think Vettel would have ended up catching him anyway. I think it would have just been faster with Kimi just allowing him to go by. But before I even talk about that, let's talk about the homeboys, Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean. They had a definite, hard qualifying throughout the whole race weekend. It would definitely, like I said, they needed to bring an upgrade for this track, and they didn't. I don't think they brought one. Overall, I think both Grosjean and Magnussen had issues in qualifying. Magnussen ended up getting a penalty, a 3-second penalty, 3-spot penalty for impeding Perez on his qualifying lap. Magnussen was told from his pits that he was on an out lap, so he didn't try to move over for Perez because he was trying to hold track position. But he was on an out lap, so he ended up impeding his fast lap, so therefore that warrants a penalty. You had to just go over what information was told, and Madison reacted to the information he was told. So whatever, he got a penalty for it. Let bygones be bygones. He apologized for it. He manned up to it. If you guys still have a problem with it, well, suck my balls, all right? In Kevin Madison's terms, I'm pretty sure he would have said something like that. Grosjean, and then Hamilton and Magnussen also took a spin during qualifying as well, sort of hindering him from getting out of Q3, and ended up having to start from P18. And then Romain Grosjean, he ended up, he didn't qualify all too well either, but he ended up finishing, P14, pretty solid time for us. Would have hoped, for higher achievements, but overall, it was great to see both cars at least finishing. And, hope for a better year next year at our home Grand Prix. And it definitely seemed like they were great hosts. They had Hostin Hill. They had like allowed fans and everything to go up there and take pictures with them. And that's great to see. That's the best way to promote your brand. Is definitely to, interact with the fans, especially at your home Grand Prix. But yeah, on to the DNFs. Enough about Haas. Hope that we have a better result in Mexico. But yeah, Hülkenberg, his first race with Carlos Sainz as his teammate, ended up going out on lap 2 with an engine problem. Ended up not being a very good day for Hülkenberg. He was looking to put up, a fight against his new teammate. Pascal Wehrlein ended up calling it quits on lap 7. He retired. Actually, K-Mag ended up going in a little bit too deep on him. I don't know what turn it was. I think it was turn 2. No, it had to be either turn 1 or 11. But he got his right front tire a little bit into the path of Wehrlein's left rear tire. And then I don't know what exactly happened to Wehrlein. He ended up going to the pits and never came back out after that. So, yeah, he ended up coming effectively P19. Then Daniel Ricciardo come P17. Wehrlein P19, and then Ricciardo P18. Ricciardo actually, his engine on lap 16 and just giving out right after turn 1. And this was right after turn 1, and this is just after he just set at the time, the fastest lap of the race. He was on some good pace. He was giving Bottas a run for his money, and then his engine ended up creeping out. That makes 4 DNFs, I think, for him. 3 or 4 DNFs for him on the year. Very bad luck for Daniel at the moment. But and then lastly, the DNFs was Fernando Alonso. I don't know if that helmet that he had the Indianapolis 500 helmet on for him for the U.S. Grand Prix, and I don't know if that's bad luck for him because he ended up having a similar issue that he had at Indianapolis, and he had an engine problem and ended up retiring. Just like what Honda probably didn't want to see. Yeah, he ended up retiring lap 25. But yeah, that's kind of sucks. Sucks for those guys. Hopefully they can turn it around in Mexico. But yeah, again, you guys want to go? I think I'm gonna go with the bottom, like the rest of the guys up until P10. We already know about Madison. He ended up coming P16 at the end of the day. That's even with Ericsson getting a 5-second penalty for spinning him around. Ericsson did get a penalty for that, but Madison lost so much time that Ericsson's penalties seemed kind of useless and, ill thought out. And it kind of, I think overall it was just a racing incident. I think Ericsson was just trying to gain an advantage from Madison having to let over Vettel. It's pretty slick. He's trying to be a little sneaky move, but can't really blame him for that. I do that all the time in the video games and stuff, so I can't really blame him for racing. And Madison just tried to squeeze them out, and he got spun around for it. Ericsson got the penalty, and and ended up Madison P16 and Ericsson P15. That's just the end of the day, and yeah, just move on. Then Grosjean, you guys already know, P14. Hartley, the guy from New Zealand, he ended up having to replace Gasly for one race here at the U.S. Grand Prix. The Le Mans winner of this year ended up coming P13 on his Formula 1 debut after starting out P20. Of course, some DNFs had to happen for him to come P13, but overall he came P13 on his debut race, and yeah, not a bad race. He kept it on track and kept his nose clean and finished the race. Great job for Brendan Hartley, which I actually had to say, I'm going to point out that he is my age, born the same year I was, and he has long hair just like me, and he kind of even looks like me a little bit. So yeah, I think I might have a new favorite driver outside of my Haas guys. Yeah, just wanted to say that. And then Stoffel Van Dorn for McLaren ended up coming in P12. He had a couple, last couple weeks he's actually been having some pretty good solid results. He didn't get in the points, but at least he got the car to finish. And yeah, I guess he knows how to keep his car intact, but he's not as fast as Fernando Alonso. But yeah, pretty solid season for him so far. I hope that McLaren can pull it around for the end of the year. And then Lance Stroll rounding out the last of the non-points finishing places in P11 with Williams. He ended up not beating his teammate Massa, but Stroll, he looked like he had a pretty solid afternoon. Didn't look like he was putting up a whole too much fight in the midfield, but P11 is nothing to shy about. It's a pretty solid finish to the race. But yeah, you guys already know about Hamilton, Vettel, and Raikkonen. Congratulations to them again. But it actually was supposed to be Hamilton, Vettel, and Verstappen. Verstappen ended up getting a 5-second grid penalty. Time penalty for passing Raikkonen on the final lap. They say that he left track limits to get the overtake done. So therefore, he was demoted down to P4. You know what the funny thing is? Verstappen was actually in the trophy room, the podium room, for a good 5-10 minutes, and then Raikkonen comes walking in, and then that's when Verstappen knew that he had a penalty and he was not going to be taking the podium. So bad luck for Verstappen. He ended up getting voted the driver of the day, which I'm going to ask you guys now. Put your vote down in the comments below. Who was your driver of the day? Do you agree with the audience and Max Verstappen, or do you think it's going to be someone else on the grid? You guys let me know in the comments below. But yeah, Max Verstappen coming P4 and Raikkonen P3. Yeah, you guys already know why Vettel got in P2. Bottas probably had the most disappointing day out of everyone on the grid outside of the DNFs. But he was he just couldn't keep pace with his teammate for one, and then two, he just seemed to be he always seems to be battling, and he always seemed to be losing those battles each and every time. So I don't know if it's his setup or that upgrade wasn't applied to Hamilton as his or what, but it seems like he's just slower, and that car is just not really working out for him, having to compete all the time with someone. I guess Hamilton's car looks fine in clean air, but Bottas is never really running in clean air, and that car seems to be dropping behind other competitors. It's unfortunate for Bottas, but Hamilton's going to run away with this championship, and Bottas is back there battling with everyone, keeping him off of Hamilton. So I guess he's being a good teammate, and Mercedes can't really complain that he's doing his job. And then Esteban Ocon, probably one of the best drives I've seen him do, coming P6. A very solid day for him. He didn't get into major battles with Perez. Yeah, great day for him. He ended up he's finished every race that he started so far. So great race for him. Carlos Sainz, his Renault debut, coming P7. Definitely looked better than Hülkenberg almost the entire weekend. And putting that car up in P7, and hopefully it's just a sign of good things to come. Sergio Perez, P8. Both Force India cars in top 10 is definitely always a good result. And Force India definitely can't complain that they didn't fight each other, and I guess Sainz was there as a buffer. But great drive for Force India in general. Great drive for Sergio Perez. His home Grand Prix next week, right? At Mexico, and I'm sure this will just be a good foothold for him for his own home Grand Prix, even though the U.S. Grand Prix is kind of like a second home Grand Prix, considering in Austin's quite close to Mexico. But yeah, great job for Force India. And then Felipe Massa, P9, the Brazilian, ended up giving 2 points to Williams on this track. They don't have a very good chassis, so very good drive for Massa to put the car into the points. And yeah, definitely showing Williams needs to re-sign him. And then and then Daniel Kvyat coming back for one, even though he was slightly out of F1 for a little bit. Coming back to get 1 point for Toro Rosso. Great drive for him. He definitely looked a lot better than Hartley. Definitely looks like he is a pretty solid driver. It just almost seems like Red Bull are determined not to see him succeed in F1. But I think he has some bad luck and sometimes some poor judgments. But that's sort of like everyone. But unlike most jobs, F1, you're under a microscope at 100% of the time. So all you can do, Kvyat, is just have some good results and keep your head clear and finish the race. But definitely easier said than done. But yeah, guys, that does it from a U.S. Grand Prix race reaction. What do you think? What do you guys think of the U.S. Grand Prix? Did you like that intro? I know. Who's your driver of the day? I would have to say, I actually have to agree with the audience and say it was Max Verstappen. I understand why he got the penalty, but I wouldn't have given him the penalty. It was just overall a racing incident. But yeah, I understand he did leave the track, so therefore a penalty is warranted. But if it was his first time doing it, I don't know, maybe you should just give him a warning or something. But like I said, it was the last lap, and a warning would have just been nothing, and he would have just got the position anyway. But yeah, guys, that does it for my race reaction. Thanks for watching. I'm Brandon from USF1. Make sure to subscribe for more race reaction videos and other F1 related videos. Make sure to slap that like button. It will definitely be appreciated. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Brandon for USF1. Peace.